Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully, I think the stream will be slightly better now. I just realised I had a setting off, but hopefully now it will be sorted. And I'll get the stream back up myself and hopefully it will be alright. Matthew goes even faster. Sorry about the slight problems we've had in qualifying with the stream. As I said, it's still really a work in progress actually. But we got there in the end. We've got a stream up again and I think it should be better than it was before. So welcome everyone who is just joining us. So still yet to see 4 people set a lap time at the moment. And hopefully we have some viewers coming back again now, so apologies about the first stream. But we're back up and running again, and Chuck sets a lap time of a 26.4, so we're well away from the times of F1 23. As you can see, the lap time has been deleted for Royal Rumble in that new fluorescent green and black, carbon black Kick Sauber, as it's now called after changing its name from Alfa Romeo, of course, who left the sport last season. So as I said, we're going to have to already make a new graphic for the next time we're in Miami, because we've well and truly smashed the previous benchmark time. Welcome back everyone into the lobby. I'm just going to check the chat. Yeah, that's fine, John. Thank you very much for helping, bud. It's appreciated. Yeah, I had a setting different and I noticed it. But as you said, yeah, it looks like it's running a bit better now than it was previously. So Lee Man on a warm-up lap now, the Welshman. And we'll go back and look at it now and again. Just trying to see, I didn't do the last part of GP1 last season, Lee did. Looney Man was in the championship. He did end up in the final spot of the full-time drivers. So I'll take a little look at that. As you can see, he finished in 16th place with 3 did not attends at the end of the season, which dropped him down to 16th in last. And as I said, Chuckle was the only other driver to get a win. As you can see him down in 12th place, but did not finish. He didn't finish another 4 races and didn't attend another, so that's why he was right down the order last season. Oh, we're having all kinds of problems today. Bear with me a second. Isn't going my way today, guys, is it? Really not. Looney Man in the pits now. We've got just over 2 minutes to go in the session. And just to remind you, and I've done it again, that's not for the first time today, do apologise. Right, let's do it properly. There we go. Don't know why I did that before, but it has done. That track map again, looking at where the sort of the straight line speed is here. We've got some quick, fast to medium speed corners, and then just this clunky bit as we're going through here, the slow section, and then down at turn 17, the heaviest braking zone on the lap, as Royal Rumble is on his flying lap at the moment, with a gold and green helmet to go with the black and green car. Yellow flags down the end of the back straight into turn 17 for what could be his final time today in anger in qualifying, and out of the final corner. He has got enough fuel to go again. I wonder if he will, but he won't have enough time to cross the line and start again. It's 11th place for Royal Rumble. And just remember, in F1 23, that 1:27.3 was the fastest time we saw when we got to the end of the game. And as you can see, we were almost into the 25s on F1 24. I wonder if the drivers actually noticed the difference from last game already. Haven't driven the game as of yet, so I'm yet to know the feeling. As Looney Man is out of the session, Chicken in Blunts is in 15th, and Arg will be starting in 16th and last, as he hasn't set a lap time. And Chicken and Blunts now coming through the twisty, windy section of 11, 12, 13 and into 14 and 15, where there was a bollard there earlier in the year which Max Verstappen took out, as he's in the V-carb coming out and under the freeway down the back straight, the second DRS straight on the lap here at the Miami Autodrome. As he breaks into the final corner, the checker flag is now out, and as I said, Arg is going to be starting 16th and last, but who's going to be starting alongside with him? It isn't going to be Chicken and Blunts for now, but other drivers are on faster laps. Royal Rumble invalidated his lap, so he is going to be starting 12th at best. Danny now coming down to the last braking zone of the lap as he now completes that braking zone and through the last corner, or the last proper corner on the track anyway. His other drivers are crossing the line. It is in second place. Danny moves up to 12th. We've got the RB of Matthew going fastest on provisional pole for him. Is the championship lead, the champion from season 15 going to put it on pole position here, or is Matthew going to see his first pole of the season? It's between him and Matthew now. Is it Josh or Matthew? It's Matthew on pole for the first round of the season, and that extra point as well, and Josh will be starting on the front row with him. So there is your final order. Matthew will be starting on pole. Josh McGill alongside him. It's his third. Little Finster fourth. Fifth is Alex Manning. Chuckle sixth. Seventh is Chuck. Ginge eighth. Ninth is Greaves. Matt F1 10th. 11th Prof. Chicken and Blunts 12th. 13th Danny. 14th Royal Rumble. 15th Looney Man. 16th is Arg, who will be back in a minute. And we are back for the start of the formation lap. We'll see what tyres are on what car. It's all mediums and hards, and the majority are on mediums, 14 to be precise, and 2 of them are on the hard tyres to start. No one deciding to touch the soft tyre. Interesting call there. But yeah, formation laps back for RTG, and looks like they're sorted, or somewhat sorted, than they were when we were on the last game. So while we're going through the formation lap, we'll get the information up on safety cars and the pit window, etc. Under green flags, it's 22 seconds down this pit lane at the Miami Autodrome. It's 16 seconds via a VSC or a safety car. The track abrasiveness is a medium, and the historic safety car chance here is 50%. So we have got a decent chance to see safety cars later on. And just to remind you of the reserves that we have this evening, I think we do have a couple of others. Prof. George, who I don't think is here, or if he is, it's a different name to what I've got. I think it's Greaves, actually. I'll cross-reference that in a bit. And Matt F1 as well. I'll make sure to get the proper names down from next week. But those are your reserves, and they'll be pulled out of proceedings like they usually are every other season. So just to keep you up to date with that, and just to keep myself up to date with it as well. So Matthew on that front row, on that coveted pole position spot, alongside the reigning champion in the Scuderia this season. His teammate Arg is starting on the back row as we wait for them to join the back of the pack here and get ready to get started for the start of season 16. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And we're away for season 16, and Matthew not getting the best of starts there, as everyone seems to ghost actually down towards turn 1, and Josh McGill going for the lunge, but it's trying to go around the outside at the next couple of corners, and Josh McGill goes off the road, and Alex Manning and Little Finster get past him as well, as we go down into the next S section on the circuit at the end of sector 1, going through turn 6 and now 7 and 8, which are the treacherous long-winded corners, and now down the long straight towards the braking zone of turn 11. We won't have DRS until the next lap, but Little Finster eyeing up a move here on Alex Manning for that third place spot. He's on the outside, and he's now past him and ahead of him going into turn 11. A lot of drivers locking up there, the brakes into turn 11 as well, and it's room for caution. You can see the pit stop strategy there, 13 to 23 laps, medium to hard, or vice versa, because that's, I think, is all the strategy is going to be today. Everyone trying to get the one stop, as Greaves has fallen down the order here, down to 14th place, losing 5 places towards the end of the lap. Prof down to 15th as well, and he hasn't had the best of first laps at the Miami GP. Matthew still leading us out of turn 17 to start lap 2, and for the first time in sim racing we'll have DRS on the second lap in F1 games, and the fastest lap as well to boot for Matthew as they go down and up again into the braking zone of turn 1. So we've got Matt F1 for some reason into the pits here, trundling down the pit lane as Matthew still stays ahead and trying to break that 1 second margin, which you've only got the 1 lap to do now at any point, even if there's a safety car or anything like that. So tall order now, and it's much easier for the car behind to attack rather than the defending car to try and get away at this point. Josh McGill though trying to make up for lost ground after losing positions at turns 2 and 3. To the inside he goes on Alex Manning, a lock up as well, but he's able to get it under control. A bit of Cayman's braking there, and he got the corner all sorted out and got the overtake sorted out at the same time. So as we go down the back straight here, and we're actually seeing a lead change. It's Matthew. Oh, sorry, it's into the wall, not Matthew. The Red Bull obviously got it all wrong in the braking zone and has hit the Tech Pro barrier on the exit of turn 17. Is he going to pit for a new front wing, or is he going to call it a day already? Who decides to come in and get a change of wing? Remember, it is a 50% chance of a safety car here, and it's a 22-second long pit stop, including just a normal time. It's going to be around more the 30-second mark with that front wing change. Matthew still leading by 1.2 seconds here. Little Flinster in second, and Josh McGill back up onto the rostrum, but he's got Alex Manning just behind him with DRS shortly available to him. But Chuck as well has got it in that Alpine as they go down the back straight. It's Renault versus Mercedes power at the end of the straight, but Alex Manning stays in fourth place. So Mass F1 only just coming out of the pits, down in 16th and last, and only coming through the S section in Sector 1 as they all exit turn 17. As they go into turn 17, Chicken in Blunts is fighting away with the Merc of Ginge, and the RB gets up into 7th now, and he's got a 2.2 second gap ahead of him to close in on the next car of Chuckle. But it's the two Chuckle brothers up next to the two Alpine cars as well. Prof now trying to go the long way round on Greaves, but locks up and gets it all going sideways there through turn 1, but was able to get it under wraps as Itsu is into the pits. As we've got a yellow flag here flying as Chicken in Blunts is round. The driver is obviously still struggling to get used to F1 24. It's only been out a fortnight, so we're still very much in those early phases, but it certainly hasn't been a honeymoon phase for the start of this game. Quite controversial with the handling model, as we just missed Chuck and Alex Manning fighting away there, and Chuck getting up into fourth place and only half a second behind our champion. The two McLarens there switching places at turn 17 as we go on to lap 5 of 29, and the rear light flashing on Looney Man's McLaren as Alex Manning and Chuck there switch places once again. Alex Manning having a very good start to his race. And Looney Man made up 7 places. The Welshman had a very, very good start in the first opening laps of this clash. This little Flinster has got within DRS range of our race leader. Is he going to close in enough to have an opportunity to overtake at the end of the back straight here? It looks like he could do, but no, a few tenths behind once they hit the brake pedal at turn 11. Still got this close tie here between Alex Manning and Chuck. Chuckle not too far behind as well, the rear gunner. Obviously both Alpines going to try and work together here, some teammates and brotherly love, I should think. And as we just go off them and then click back on again, little Flinster is taking the lead of the race, and the Williams is now leading for the first time today as Chuck gets past Alex Manning as well. We're going to see a move from Danny here as he gets closer to his teammates. He certainly thinks about it, but he wasn't close enough, and obviously you don't want to take too many risks against your teammates. So we've got this long straight to go down here, as you can see on that track map with the purple. Oh, that's my Siri going off for some reason. Apologies for that. As you can see on the purple bottom of your screen there, as you wind through down towards turn 11, is where they're at right now. That track just certainly has so many straights and good opportunities to make some overtakes, as you've been seeing so far today in the first 6 laps. And we're going to see a switchback here under the freeway. Oh, they come together here, both of them, Matthew and Little Flintstone. They back out of it again, but then our champion goes through into the lead, and Matthew now facing in the wrong direction and gets himself back in the right direction again. But how far down is he going to be after sorting himself out there? He's going to slot between the 2 Saubers, or is Greaves going to have an opportunity here with the straight line speed advantage he had? Oh, Matthew here, touch aggressive maybe. He's going to have to pit anyway. He's lost both end plates. Bit of frustration creeping in. He's decided to stay out though and carry on for a bit longer, maybe hoping just to go to his pit stop. Maybe the downforce is not so bad as it used to be when you lose end plates in F124. Still unknown to me, as I said. Pretty much unknown to everyone still, really, as Chuck and Alex Manning switch places again, and I'm sure that John will not be pleased about that outcome at the exit of the freeway section at turn 16. So we see Chuck again here going for a move on Alex Manning. These two switching places constantly at the moment, and then in the background down the road, Matthew making up a place and back into 10th, and between the 2 Sauber cars. So no comment from John yet, as Matthew makes up another place here, as you can see, past Royal Rumble. And Matt F1, 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I wonder where he did that. I wonder. Royal Rumble though, not giving up the ghost just yet. Trying to fight back on Matthew with his end plates lost in Royal Rumble. Almost lost the car then as we went off him. Turn 3 obviously quite treacherous. So still got all 16 drivers in at the moment. I would have a sneaking suspicion that Matt F1 might retire at the end of this lap. He may not, he may stay out for a bit longer. Who knows? And Royal Rumble getting back past Matthew. We've got yellow flags flying. I wonder who that's for. Going to be the Haas, I think, is we've got a retirement in the pits there, and that's Matt F1 down to 15 of the 16 that started. Is Alex Manning again getting past Chuck? As said, these two have been really to me to you with the overtakes at the moment. I'm sure Chuck will want to get involved in those overtakes as well, as we're just over a third of the way through the race. Just to remind you of some of the reserves for this evening. Matt F1 obviously retired, but Prof is another one, so he'll be pulled out down in 12th at the moment, as Matthew has pit for a new set of tyres. That will be around that 21-second pit stop as he now comes out and back onto the racetrack. It's a double stop for the Red Bull team. Matthew comes out in 12th place. And again, Alex Manning and Chuck not able to leave each other alone whatsoever. It's Josh Miguel who's got a 1.5 second lead. Little Finster, though, I think came away unscathed with no damage with the incident with Matthew. But of course, Matthew did have damage and down in 12th, and it's not looking good for the two RBs. As Argan Chicken and Blunt swap places there. So we have another pit stop for Looney Man here as he comes in. And Royal Rumble getting past Prof, and he's gone off and spun around at the exit of turn 17 there and trying to do a pretty much a 20-point turn almost. And now into the pit lane, still 1.5 seconds between the top two. So, everyone, please like and subscribe to the channel. You're watching round 1 of GP1 here at Miami. All the support that you could give would be appreciated. We want to get to 400 subscribers by the end of season 16. So we're only 20 away from that, so giving ourselves a bit of an easier target than previous times. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel. You're watching round 1 of GP1 in RTG TV. Alex Manning now losing some time and having Chuckle behind him for company at this point. Unwanted company though, of course, for Alex Manning. He's been involved with these two Alpines, but Chuck is the only one that's been able to roll his sleeves up at the moment and get some overtakes done, but also had it back at him as well. As Matt F1 now leaves the session. Chuck going to go for a move. The only thing he's got to remember, of course, is, and we've all got to remember, is Alex Manning's still got the DRS as well, and of course to attack and defend. And I think he might be looking in his mirror more than looking ahead of him, as Chuckle is getting closer here towards the braking zone of turn 11, but not close enough. Still in that Alpine sandwich is Alex Manning. Almost a second between the top two now as they exit turn 16 and on the way down where the track opens up, and a 3-second time penalty for Alex Manning now in that turns 14-15 complex under the freeway. So Ginge has pitted, so is Greaves, and Matthew now still with that wing damage goes through to 9th place. And it'll be close between Looney Man and Greaves, I think, going out of the pits here. It certainly is, as they come out. Looney Man just ahead of the Sauber driver who's just come in for a fresh pair of boots. And he's gone to the hard tyre to go to the end. Looney Man came in a couple of laps earlier than that. The top 7 still yet to pit as we get to almost half distance in the race here. Alex Manning, of course, problem for him. He's got that time penalty looming over his head. As we go on to lap 13 of 29, Chuck comes into the pits, and so does Alex Manning, speeding in the pit lane. 10-second penalty for Alex Manning. It's changed from a 5-second. It used to be 5 seconds for a speed in the pit lane. It's doubled now, and I think drivers might only just be knowing that, and banging the steering wheel in frustration would be my guess, as Danny comes in as well, and so does Royal Rumble with this long pit entry, and a few drivers going to be caught out by that one. We've got that 22-second pit stop here, and obviously we'll get that discount to 16 seconds. If we see a VSC or safety car today, is Greaves and Danny, who just pops out ahead of him. Looney Man has lost the place to him as well, as Greaves is on the charge and now in a McLaren sandwich, as the two Alpines as well looking up the field. A third and fourth with Chuck has just pit, as well as Alex Manning, but remember he's just got that 10-second time penalty. As we go on to the long back straight with DRS open, we're just looking back to Itsu, crashed on the opening laps at turn 17. He's going to come out in 14th place. Josh McGill still yet to pit, as there's this close battle for 9th place, and Little Flintster now comes into the pits to go onto the hard tyre and is trying to get the undercut on Josh McGill. So, everyone who is watching at the moment, get in the chat. Who do you think is going to be winning the race this evening? Is it a pretty much a race to lose? Is it in his hands to win? And you know, his race to lose really, Josh McGill, or is Little Flintster got a chance, especially with this undercut that he's trying to perform at the moment, as Chuckle comes out the pits in 5th place, around 2 seconds ahead of Ginge. But anyone who wants to, get yourself in the comments and let me know what you think, or who you think is going to win the race this evening, or maybe you could be your top 3. As we've got a yellow flag, and that is in sector 1 at around turn 3 on the outside of the NFL stadium, as we race around in the car park here at this temporary circuit. But still, I haven't really seen any sign of a VSC or safety car as of yet. Wait for Josh McGill to decide when he pits. He'll go a bit longer, of course, and go on to the mediums to the end. That would be my guess. Is Greaves and Danny here side by side into turn 17, and they almost go into the wall, and I think Greaves has gone into the wall and is spun out and is going to lose a place to his teammate. Is he? No, I think he just comes into the pits and new front wing, new set of tyres. No, he retires in the pits. We're down to 14. That's obviously some frustration boiling over for him there, and just wanting to get gone really. So John saying he thinks Josh will win. I wonder if anyone else will make a comment. Let's get chatting, guys. That was going out as well. Josh McGill still leading, only by 19 seconds now though. That undercut really starting to work, as we've got a Sauber off the road again. Oh sorry, that's the reserve car, isn't it? Who's come out of the pits of the DNF car. It's come out of the pits as Josh goes for another lap, and Little Flinter is going to be able to get into the lead, I think, if all goes well. But he is going to have Josh bearing down on him on a fresh set of medium tyres, which are the tyres I believe he'll go on. But he's even trying to go longer to cheekily go on to the soft tyres at the end. You never know. Alex Manning still stuck after the pit stops in that Alpine sandwich here. As we just go over half race distance. Alex obviously got the 10-second penalty as well, going up to 13. Only one of two drivers, you can see, that have had penalties so far this evening. Little Flinster trying to push on here, has clear track ahead of him to try and close the gap before Josh makes his inevitable pit stop. So we're just seeing this fight for the final podium position, but realistically Alex Manning is out of that fight now. I'm not sure if he pits again he'll be able to serve the 10 seconds. I think it might only be 5 they can serve as he goes back up into third place. It's now the gap getting closer to 17.5 seconds between Josh McGill and Lil Flinster. If he goes another couple of laps, Josh, I think he will go to the soft tyres. Actually, it might be a change of planning, breaking the mould really in terms of the strategy here. I didn't think anyone would go to the soft tyres as Chuck gets closer and closer to Alex Manning, but really he's really racing him now with how many penalties he's got, and the field really started to spread out at this point. Oh, we've got 3 wide there, and there's an accident. Chuck has been spun around. It came together with Alex Manning there, and he's been able to get himself back underway. We just caught the very end of that, so we've got another car round as well. So many yellow flags today, but as I said, no VSCs or safety cars, and Matthew now gets up into 5th place, and I'm not sure if Alex or where's Chuckle gone? He was involved in that as well, of course, and he's fallen down the order as we've got, is that a car round? Car round, that was strange. It's out the corner of my eye now, it looked like it was a McLaren or something, but it wasn't. It was just a bit of orange advertising hoarding or something like that. So Josh now had his pit stop and he's only half a second behind. Did go on to the mediums in the end. As Chuck getting past Matthew now. Matthew has got that wing damage, decided not to pit. I wonder if that will work out to be the best call when we get to the very end. Chuckle right on the gearbox of Danny here as they go through 14 and 15. And then back to the right hand side for turn 16 as we go down the very long back straight towards turn 17 as it opens up here. Gives you plenty of room to overtake as Matthew getting back past Chuck. We're watching Chuckle here go for the overtake on Danny on the inside at turn 17. Gives him just enough room on that outside. As Danny going to fight back here with DRS to attack him into turn 1? He certainly is. He's going to go and try and do the scenic route. But unfortunately, it doesn't pay off for him. So, we're on lap 19 of 29 here. And you're watching the first round of GP1 here in Miami. And if you're enjoying the content and you want to get involved in racing on Monday or Thursday with PlayStation only, or crossplay on a Wednesday evening, which is also a mixed tier, not this tier 1, tier 2 system we're seeing right now with the top tier, join the Discord, which is just above us at the top of the YouTube channel. You have to have a trial before you can get started, but there are seats available, and there's certainly enough space for reserves as well if that's your thing. But also have a moment to potentially think about subscribing to the channel and liking the video. We're going to have content 3 days a week, live streaming Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is Matthew gets past and then locks up as well as he gets past, and was maybe a bit too aggressive on the brake pedal there. And just to be a pain, to quickly add to that, obviously you've got the socials at the top as well, obviously the YouTube channel that you're on, we've got TikTok as well, Instagram, and obviously our Discord as well, which the link is above, but make sure to give a follow to the TikTok and the Instagram page as well, get some info, get the standings weekly now on Instagram for the season. You will have them on the screen as well, but just keep your eye in as well with what's going on. Might be some of the little bits of content over the socials as well, still thinking about that one. Matthew and Chuck still fighting away here out of turn 16. Remember, he's got those damaged end plates, or lack of end plates. Is Matthew again getting past? I think Chuck has now got himself, a damaged right front end plate as well. He's missing that part, so we'll be feeling a bit of a problem with the balance. And we've got a yellow flag again. Not too sure who that was for this time, but it's all been cleared up nicely. And the closest battles on track are between Chuck and Matthew, and Danny and Chuckle, so both Alpines are busy on the racetrack at the moment. Is Danny going to go for an overtake at the end of the straight? I think Chuck's certainly thinking about it on Matthew as we get early on into the straight. He's already passed. Is Danny going to do the same thing? He's actually lost ground out of turn 9. And once again, the Alpines getting some overtakes done here, and Chuckle getting past Matthew. He's falling back again. We did see a comment from John earlier on who said that Matthew will probably be driving with anger now, and that anger's caused him to make another mistake here. He's rounded the exit of turn 17. Both RBs not having the best of Monday evenings. So the fight at the moment is really between Chuckle and Danny right now. 2 Alpines and a solo McLaren. Looks like Ginge might be getting a first podium of the season. If it stays like it is, even at the distance back that he is, with, as you can see, Alex having so many time penalties. The tyres now, the majority of the field are on the hard tyres, only Arg and Josh McGill on the mediums, as Arg is only just pitted for those medium tyres. This might be a bit more of a waiting game now between these three. I think we won't see much happen between these three for maybe 3 or 4 laps. They'll just bide their time towards the very end. As Matthew pits, I wonder if he's going to go for the fastest lap attempt here. And he's having that front wing change now. He's going to come out behind Itzy and ahead of Prof, who's down in 13th at the moment. His Mercedes colleague is up in 4th and potentially going to get a podium coming his way as well. As Matthew comes out in 12th, 6 seconds behind Itzy. I wonder if he'll catch him up in the handful of laps or so that we have left. These three still drawn to each other, but as I said, they probably have a bit of a timeout. Oh, Chuckle there, almost going into the back of his teammate at the end of the straight at turn 17. So close, you saw the front end of the car, the nose dip there into the corner. But Josh as well, he's comfortable out in front now, 5.5 seconds in the lead. Matthew already made quite a dent in the gap that he had to Itzy. Oh, Chicken and blunts his round and into the wall here at turn 3. Teammate Matthew going past. And again, another yellow flag, but not a whiff of a VSC or a safety car. You see these guys again coming out of turn 16. This is the battle for 5th that you're watching between Chuckle and Danny. All to play for between these three. As Chuckle goes past Chuck into the hairpin as they now exit and out onto the start finish straight and through the final corner of turn 19, which isn't really a corner at all. So if it stays like this for the last few laps, as we just seen Matthew taking the fastest lap point there, for the time being, we might see others come into the pits to try and take the fastest lap away from him. As Chuckle is now starting to get away from his brother here, actually for once outside of that DRS window, but as I say that, on the edge of being back into it again. If it stays like this, for the last 4 laps. This will be 7 race wins in a row for Josh McGill. After his win streak started in Austria, round 5 of last season. He took the majority of pole positions last season as well. I believe he took 6 poles last season as well, and now starting the season with a 2nd place start. Matthew obviously taking the pole earlier on, and he does go away with that point at least. He might go away with another extra one, as he has the fastest lap to his name at the moment. Chuck obviously has that front wing end plate damage, you can see on the front right. Maybe obviously another factor why Chuckle has been able to actually break away a bit now, and he's almost 2 seconds ahead of his brother. And it's 6/10 between Chuck and Danny, now half a second, getting closer and closer. I'm sure Danny looks like he's on the attack here now. Didn't get close enough though. We're going to have 3 laps to go when we cross the line. As you can see, Danny there, the McLaren, getting the tail out on the exit of turn 15 there. There's not a lot of grip left in the hard tyres that he's got underneath him. That cost him a lot of time, as you can see, out of that DRS window. Does creep back in again. He didn't have DRS to help him with that either. So obviously got a bit of a better car in a straight line compared to Chuck. We will have DRS down the start finish to close in to around 7.5 tenths or so. And again, getting seesawy at the wheel at turn 1. The front end not liking the conditions now. The tyres are really starting to scream at this point. Now almost within half a second of Chuck, as Chuckle is still outside of DRS range. I wonder if Chuckle is actually going to help his brother here, give him DRS to try and defend that 6th place, because it would be a very good points haul for the brothers here in the Alpine team. Looks like he has backed out to maybe give him a bit of DRS here to defend against Danny. And this is where having your teammate right next to you can really help in terms of strategy. So I believe we're just about to go on to the penultimate lap with these guys who are watching, as Josh McGill's already on to lap 28. And Chuck having a helping hand from his brother here to have DRS to defend. And they'll all go into a state of recharge, I'm sure, for the penultimate lap to just use it all up in the final lap. You see a battle here between Matthew and Itsu. He's got past after going on to the softs, and that's worked well for him. Got himself up into the top 10 now. And I think that's where he'll end up now, unless mistakes are made ahead. Too much of a margin now to get back, as Danny is losing ground at this point, with Chuck finding some extra speed in the final couple of laps here, as our race leader goes on to the final lap of the race. Little Flint's are just starting to creep back maybe slightly, because the hard tyre is starting to be the tyre of choice at this point. The medium's just starting to go off. Danny's got a lot of battery to play with at the end, of slightly more than Chuck, and Chuck makes a mistake there out of turn 17. This could be Danny's opportunity to get 5th place, 6th place at least. He goes long in the braking though, he hasn't helped himself, has he? As we see Matthew and Itzy going wheel to wheel here into turn 17, and Itzy back up into 10th, but he has time penalties to his name. He's got 3 seconds, so it's not going to matter for Matthew. So as we watch these guys now make their way down the back straights, we're going to have to keep our eye out for Josh McGill as he's getting close to the last corner. Is Chuck going to go for a move on his brother here? We're going to have to check back with it in a second, because Josh McGill is coming around the final couple of corners here to make it 7 wins on the bounce, and the first win in season 16 and on F1 24, and he leads the championship again. He starts as he means, he left it, and now starts as he means to go on, as Little Flinster finishes in 2nd place. As we have a DNF here for Prof on the last lap for whatever reason, and Alex Manning's going to come over the line in 3rd, but he's got over 10 seconds worth of time penalties at the end of the race, and there you go, got a 10-second time penalty served along with 13, so that means Ginge is going to get his first podium of the season in the first race, as Shackle comes across the line in 4th, and Alex Manning moves that all the way down to 7th place. Danny actually got 6th out of that in the end, as we wait for Danny's teammate Looney Man to cross the line. And whilst that's going on, Matthew getting past Itzu again. Here comes Royal Rumble around the final corner, and Matthew, Itzu are the last two to finish the first round of the season. So, driver of the day for me, it's saying Looney Man. Now, who are we going to go for driver of the day? I'll have a think about that for a second, and I'll get back to you on it. So, Josh McGill converts his 2nd place into a win. Little Flinster finishing in 2nd. Ginge will finish in 3rd. Chuck will finish in 4th. 5th is Chuck. 6th is Danny. I'm going to say Danny's my driver of the day actually. In 6th. 7th is Alex Manning. Looney Man in 8th. 9th is Royal Rumble. Matthew finishes just inside the top 10. Itzy finishes in 11th. Chicken and Blunt finishes 12th. Prof finishes 13, 2 laps down. Arg finishes in 14th, 2 laps down. Greaves and Matt F1 did not finish this race. So, after the first round of the season, we'll have a look at where we're going next week. We're going to Imola for the 2nd round next Monday on the 17th of June. Same format as we have as always, short qualifying and the full 50% race distance after that. So make sure to check that one out. We'll be back on Wednesday with me as well for the Wednesday tier in Japan at Suzuka. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure, as I said, to like and subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated. Until Wednesday, guys, and until next Monday in GP1, it's goodbye from me.